Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.
That was the second best line.
Yes.
Of the film.
Yeah, that was good.
All right,
That's good.
I'll stop that there. Just leave that on the screen there for just a little bit. If you Sound of Freedom and you can watch that, that's kind of one of those movies where, Jason, honestly, I don't know that I necessarily would recommend for everybody to watch it, but as has been done before with films, sometimes you go to the box office, you pay for the ticket just to drive the box office up, support the film, get the information that's out there. But man, just such an important topic. I do think that one of the powers of film and videography is that you're able to tell stories. And if you were to set up any meeting, probably here in Litchfield or anywhere else as a pastor, and say, okay, today we're going to talk about this particular topic and how this topic is impacting Litchfield, you'd have some people that would show up, but you'd have a lot of people who would tap out of that meeting. And it's not that it's not an important issue. It's a very important issue. And we know that it's going on. We know that somebody should do something about it. Somebody should say something about it. But we're sometimes not brought into that discussion until we see the story and then are able to identify to some extent with. The main question of that is what would happen if you had kids and you walked in and one of your kids was taken away and you're having to look at an empty bed. And it's like, okay, I'm in the story now. Because I know what the room looks like and I know what the setup looks like. And they had that scene there where the father walks in several times. I'm not going to put any spoilers in there. You saw the trailer. But a couple of times when he walks into the room and his daughter's not there. And it kind of takes the best of the redemptive parts of the Liam Neeson and Taken and this really redemptive story and puts the two of those things together in a way that scene by scene, it's growing with intensity. And that was really, really great.
The movie was outstanding. I thought the movie was excellently directed. The
Acting,
every scene
written,
was absolutely wonderful. The writing was superb. The best line, obviously, God's children are not for sale for me. The Sound of Freedom line. I'm in that tension where I completely and wholeheartedly endorse and support the film. Emotionally just have a hard time watching it because I just don't like to see.
And no children were actually harmed there.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. and Erskine made the point, right, when he said that it's just still like just the imagery, and he's right. Not everybody can maybe see it. But I would absolutely recommend that you do if you can. I'm gonna get his last name. Caviezel.
Yep.
Is superb. He's just an all around dude. Like,
well, he was Jesus.
I know. The more I've watched him, everything from The Passion, he did a series called The Person of Interest that was really good, and he keeps it real PG, so he keeps a lot of that stuff out, and then he does The Sound of Freedom. I'm gonna tell you, that's a guy you should follow. I think he's a guy who's worth watching, and I think Hollywood is absolutely despicable. So,
how do you feel about Hollywood?
Yeah, how do I feel about Hollywood? Hollywood, a lot of Hollywood was not happy about this film, and there was a lot of people trying to bust this film's chops. And then you find out in the film, well, it says the United States is the largest consumer of child exploitation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's interesting when you watch a movie like that, because part of the movie I was watching the movie, and then part of the movie I was watching you watching the movie. And I'm like, he's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna make it through the film.
Yeah.
We can't use certain terms because we would get kicked off the internet. But there were a couple of scenes where you're just like, I'd take them out. I'd take them out.
That'd be a bullet. That'd be a bullet right there.
Yeah. And so
it is hard to watch in that regard, especially I worked with entire life, and a lot of the young kids I get to work with come from some just tough situations, and so and you know that some of these children you're working with, this is happening somewhere, and you see their vulnerability and you see their weakness, and Jesus says that you're to protect the weak and the vulnerable. Tie a millstone around your neck. if you want to hurt one of the least of these. And so just to see the arrogance and the with these people who are just treating these children like cattle. Actually, I think cattle got treated better.
Yeah.
That just, to me, just takes you to the whole of the place. So if it weren't for the gospel, if I can bring that back into it,
Mhm.
if it weren't for the gospel, I would have that probably vigilante justice type stuff raging, because it's a very emotional issue. I got 5 kids.
Yeah.
Man, you lay a hand on my kids, we got issues.
Changes the game.
We got issues.
Listeners making this comment today: Jim Caviezel, great actor. His theology is not solid. What do we know?
I think he comes from the Catholic tradition.
Okay.
I think that's where he sits.
Do you want to give a note to all the Catholics that are out there? You're a good Southern man, good Reformed man.
Yes.
Look, it's the Erskine Music Show.
Yeah, listen.